Hey everyone, welcome, I am MisterBo, and in today's video we're going to be discussing Destiny. Now you guys might have noticed I haven't actually done a Destiny video in about a month, and I'll get into why in just a minute, but in today's video I'm going to be talking about the current state of Destiny and how I feel about it, what I'd like to see them do next in Destiny throughout this year leading up to Destiny 2, and then what the future looks like for Destiny on my channel. So let's start off with how I feel about Destiny at the moment. As I previously mentioned, I haven't done a Destiny video in about a month, and I haven't actually played Destiny in about a month. The reason being, well, there isn't really anything to do anymore, it's kind of getting old, boring and stale. The last time I did play Destiny was at the beginning of the Dawning event, their winter themed event. I played the 2 new SRL maps as well as the old ones, and I just constantly played SRL until I was kind of bored with it. And they also introduced strike scoring. Now I didn't even attempt strike scoring once, and the reason being, well, I've played every strike numerous amount of times, and just adding a scoring feature to strikes didn't really make me want to go back and play through them. So that is why I didn't even bother attempt to play strike scoring. I do know they reintroduced the Nexus Mind and they added a few new mechanics to some of the old strikes, but I'm still playing those old strikes, there weren't anything new. Now before the Dawning we had the Rise of Iron, and that was a ton of fun to begin with for about the first month or so. There wasn't really anything to do, we'd got the Outbreak Prime, we'd done the hard raid, we'd done the challenges. The only thing that kept me coming back was Trials of Osiris every weekend. But again, like strikes, if you play something constantly you're going to get bored of it eventually. And I did, and now there isn't really anything else to do in Destiny. We do know in this week's Bungie Weekly Update they teased that there are going to be some new events coming soon. As to what those are, we don't know. Is it going to be Crimson Days? It possibly might be, but I think if they are going to bring back Crimson Days, it needs to be something completely different to what we saw with Crimson Doubles last year. Crimson Doubles was a 2v2 version of elimination. When your partner died, you became stronger, more powerful and quicker. Hey, it was actually a pretty fun game type, but I know a lot of people, the majority of people, didn't actually like it. As to what they could introduce with Crimson Days this year, I'm not entirely sure, but hopefully they can think of something fun, maybe a new PvP game mode that can bring people back. I'd definitely hop back on to try that out and maybe get some new rewards. They were giving out last year's rewards during the Dawning event, which was a bit strange, but maybe they were getting those out to players who didn't get them last year so they could introduce a whole new set of items this year. And even if they do change it around and make something really cool, that's probably only going to make people play for about a week or two. We still haven't got any official confirmation about Destiny 2, we're all assuming that it's going to be coming out at the end of this year, but the reality is it might not, it might be pushed back to 2018. But if that's the case, then what can we expect from Destiny from February onwards? We might see another update like we saw last year in April that introduced a few new exotics, a few new quests and things like that. I know a lot of people are speculating we're going to be seeing the old raids brought forward, but again that's just old content being brought forward for us to play again. Granted, I probably would go back and play through the Vault of Glass and Crota's End a couple of times, but it's not going to keep me playing for the next couple of months until Destiny 2. Now I reckon Bungie are going to announce Destiny 2 at E3. If they don't, I would expect to see Destiny 2 next year and not this year. But if they do actually announce Destiny 2, then I reckon Bungie are hoping that the hype and anticipation for Destiny 2 will sort of make up for the fact that there's no content in Destiny 1. We'll have about 6 months from Crimson Days till around September, which is probably when we'll see Destiny 2 if it does launch this year, and they've already confirmed there's going to be no more big expansions like we saw with Rise of Iron and Taken King, as well as before that with the House of Wolves and Dark Below. Now another event that I've thought of that I think would be pretty cool to introduce into Destiny 1 is tied into Destiny 2. So whatever the narrative or story in Destiny 2 is, have that impact Destiny 1. If that's a new enemy race, if that's something big happening to the tower, whatever it is, introduce that beforehand in Destiny 1. So if it is a new enemy race, have them start to appear in places in Destiny 1, maybe in the Cosmodrome, in other locations. If it is the rumour of the tower being destroyed, maybe show that in some way. Have the tower starting to be destroyed whilst we're running around it, maybe lock the tower off, we can only use Felwinter's Peak, you can only use the reef. Have some kind of event which impacts players to show this is happening in the world right now, and you're going to continue and hopefully make this better in Destiny 2. Personally, I think that would be a really awesome thing to see. That would definitely make me hop back into Destiny to explore this thing and get really excited for what could wait in Destiny 2. So that's what I'd like to see. I doubt they are going to do that, but we have seen things like that before leading up to expansions. You know, we saw the Taken in Patrol before the Taken King came out, the same with the Seaver, as well as the Wolves and even Crota's Servants. So I definitely think that's something plausible they could do, but I don't think they will, because it might be a bit too much effort when they are focusing just on the next game. So to summarize all of that in a neat package, for me at this moment, Destiny is stale, dry and a little bit boring. There isn't anything making me want to go and play that, except maybe the Crucible every so often. At this current time, I'm playing a lot of other games like Overwatch, and there's games coming out in the next few months that are going to be making me want to play those instead of going back to a 2-year-old game where there isn't really much to do. So Bungie needs to think of something that is going to draw players back or keep people interested so they don't start going off to other games, that being Crimson Days and other events that they are starting to tease but not giving us any real confirmation on. Now finally, as for Destiny on this channel, now most of you guys probably subscribe for Destiny content, as that's what I've been doing over the last 2 years. Now Destiny isn't going to be going anywhere on the channel, it's just going to be taking a little bit of a backseat. What I mean by that is you're not going to be seeing me cover every single little update about Destiny. Patch notes I might cover if there's something big. If there's a brand new event announced, then of course I'll cover it. If there's a brand new update like we saw with the April update, then I'll cover it. I'll do some live streams here and there. I want to do the open lobbies with you guys, and of course I'll be covering any Destiny 2 news we get, however small, however big. You can find it here on this channel. So Destiny isn't going to be going anywhere. As I said, it's going to be taking a backseat sort of, and I'm going to be starting to introduce other games that are coming out early this year onto the channel as well. Now one thing I would love to know from you guys is, do you still play Destiny regularly? If you play Destiny, are you on it every day, every other day? Do you only hop on for Trials of Osiris or Iron Banner? Or are you like me and you've kind of got a little bit bored and you're taking a break playing some other games? I'd really love to know, so leave your comments down below so I can get a feel for kind of where you guys are at on Destiny as well. And hopefully you guys don't mind Destiny sort of taking a break on the channel, introduce some other games. I'm sure you guys probably play other games as well. So if you have any games coming out this year that you'd like to see covered on the channel along with Destiny, do let me know as well, because I'll be sure to read through the comments to get an idea for what kind of games you guys are interested for as well. If you haven't seen my top 5 most anticipated games for this year, you can find a link for that in the description below or at the end of this video. And that is kind of just a quick update for where I'm at with Destiny, what I hope is coming with Destiny, what they need to do with Destiny, and yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. As always, feel free to give the like button a big old hug, subscribe for more Destiny content and coverage. Hope you guys have an awesome day, thanks very much for hanging out, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye bye.